James. Ready to dash today. Let's see what happens. Just driving out of the neighborhood, so we'll see what happens. Eating Cliff Park is very light lunch, and it hasn't stayed with me. And we got the veggies going, so we'll see. I'll probably be hungry by like in an hour and a half after eating all this. But anyway, maybe I'll be so busy that I don't have time to eat anything else. So fingers crossed. Alright, so yesterday I ended up with an AR of 72. I started out at 67, so I must have had a bunch of declines fall off when I don't think I declined anything yesterday. So I didn't have the best of days, and it was an early day, so I had almost 50 counting cash tips, so that's not too bad. Can always be better, but still. I got a 97% completion rate. This 93% on time or early has been that way ever since the very beginning. It's never changed, so I don't know if I'm delivering some late. Like 1 out of 12 is delivered late or something. I don't know. Here's my first order, 1175 plus for 5.1 miles. So definitely off to the right start, and Wingstop is just right around the corner. So today I'm starting out at 178 deliveries in the last 30 days with 24 lifetime deliveries. So we're starting the day out earnings wise at $226.45. So I would like to be upwards of, this parking lot is packed out already. I don't know why. I would like to be at, what I like to be? I would like to be at 300 already, but I'm only at 226 now. Yeah, I've had a little bit of cash deliveries this week, so probably I am up over that, maybe close to 250, but that's still quite a bit behind from what I'd like to be. And my payout for this week so far is only 112 because of the cash orders. So, all right. I'm going to pause and set the phone where it's not in the sunshine because it overheated yesterday. So I will see you back in a minute. Alright guys, I don't know, it seemed like it was longer than it was, but I was in there for quite a while. And it's gonna be 14 minutes. I live here and never go through the hood. Alright. Okay, so she just texted me and said something about, because I'm looking at the GPS and I could go one of two ways. One is through a neighborhood, and I can't tell if she actually lives in the neighborhood, but or if you have to go around this long way around and come in on one of the houses or neighborhoods on the back side of this other neighborhood. So she said go around, and acted like you could get through either way. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. She'll have some cold wings if I drive the long way around and can't get to her house that way. Alright, so 12 minutes. That's quite the long drive for me to just sit here and not talk. So, one good thing is I got a few steps in already today. I'm at 64.95, and I have a daily goal of the 10,000. Don't really care where they come from, but most of them all come from when I'm out walking the dog, so they're not just like walking around the house, you know. It's like, yeah, I get 10,000 steps a day just by walking to the fridge. I don't know, that's, I guess that would be doable. So today I could recap some other videos that we've done. So it's been, I think this is our 7th video, and I haven't dashed every day. So we've started maybe a couple of weeks ago. Maybe, well, I don't know what day I started. So because I've dashed every night this week, but the week before I didn't because of the weather. So I think it's supposed to be pretty nice all weekend. It's in the, I don't know what it's, I think it said in the low 70s for a high. It feels warmer than that, but it could just be me as well. So it says 71, so it feels hotter than that. Mainly, I guess, just sitting in this car. I'll let it air out a little bit. But the sun is coming through. I can see all the glare off of the phone there. So we started it a little bit over a week ago. This will be my 7th one, and I think I premiered 2 videos today. One at maybe like it was after that, maybe 9 or 10 today. And then I set another one up for maybe 5:30 at some point. So, so 5 and 6 premiered today, and then this one will come over the weekend at some point. So, and I don't know, I may break this down into a couple of them. One, because it's my late night, so I might just do a straight up episode of Dashing in the Dark. I did find a light at the house, but I didn't have any batteries because it didn't have. I didn't dig out a screwdriver to open it up either. It's one of these things that sits on a counter and has a round thing of LED lights. I don't know. I don't have no idea where it came from. I've never seen it before. It could have been there when I bought the house, for all I know. And that was in 2016. So, anyway, I don't know where I was going. Oh, I was gonna maybe break this video up into a regular video and then a Dashing After Dark episode, just to give some comic relief or whatever. I don't know. Dashing After Dark. I just like that. I like that little theme anyway. So I may break that up once it gets dark into a second video. I gotta turn here. But then, so either way, I'll have some other videos posted over the weekend. At some point this weekend, my hope is that I get through the first video, the second, just go through as many of these videos as I can and get some shorts out there. Because I know most people watch shorts that do any kind of stuff on DoorDash or on YouTube, and they just get enamored by the shorts. So, you know, it is what it is. So, I'm debating, I don't know, I'm not necessarily trying to keep it a secret about me dashing, so I usually, but I don't go out there and tell everybody, hey, James is door dashing, but I'm out here. If anybody runs across my videos, then they'll know who I am. And but I don't know, it's just a way for me to make extra money to do the things that I want to do. Let's see what these people have to say. I can't see it. I can't see the screen. Me watching your location. Okay. I'm scared. So, anyway, so a brief recap of things that we did. So tonight I'm going to do another top 5 list, and I've done, this will be the 4th top 5. So we did fast food restaurants, we did sodas, we did candy bars. So I'll when we get to another break, I'll cover the one for tonight. So yeah, we'll do that. I don't know, you can do top 5s on almost anything out there in the world, so I'm just right here racking my brain, or not racking my brain, and things are just popping out of my head, like best movies, or favorite 80s movie, or favorite 80s song. You know, top 5 80s songs, and those would be my top 5s, not anybody else's. I have a feeling a lot of people weren't even born by the 80s, so they won't know. But I mean, my 15-year-old, he listens to a lot of that same stuff because he grew up listening to it because of me. So I feel kind of proud when I hear him say, oh, that's Bryan Adams, that's Def Leppard, you know. he's listening to some more stuff that I didn't listen to, like Metallica and people like that. And I don't know if they were in the 80s or the 90s or both, but I didn't get into the heavy stuff. I did get into the 80s hair bands a lot, so but yeah, so recapping, we did top fives. I had financial recommendations of taking your money and putting at least $25 a week back into a Roth IRA, and letting it grow. I invested in the S&P 500 inside a Roth, and let it grow and just forget about it, right? Just direct deposit it into either Robinhood or some other place that lets you do it with no transaction fees, and you can do like the Vanguard 500 or a SPY, which is SPY, is a spider that mimics the S&P 500. There might be some other ones, but those are relatively low cost. Oh, well, here we go. I've been down this road, but it's been a while, and they do have an entrance into the big neighborhood now. Look at that. All right, learn something new every day. And it's so much faster than going through the freaking neighborhood. It's so aggravating to get through there. Alright, well, at least it said it was going to take like 1 or 2 minutes longer, but I promise you it was not as long, because the time that it takes. I don't know what they got going on here. There's a gate that was open. 9 times out of 10 you go through these gates in neighborhoods and they're always broken. I may have delivered to this house the other day, but I came through the neighborhood and it takes me forever, because you're just like in this neighborhood you're going a lot slower. And that's one of the things they were telling me, is like they never go through the neighborhood because they don't want to get speeding tickets. Alright, I am going to pause this and I will catch you guys on the other side. Okay, I'm back. She sent me a text and said, sorry about the tip, which she left me a $10 tip on the app, and it was only a $2 delivery base pay from DoorDash. So that was $12, but then she added $20 more out there, so that was very nice of her. So $30 tip on a thing of wings, so that was freaking awesome. So alright, so now I'm adding it to the app that I was telling everyone about last night. Is Simplify through Quicken, is my money tracking, budgeting, everything app, where I keep track of everything that I have, and I can see everything all at one place without having to log into different accounts. So it takes a little bit of time to get it set up. It takes a little bit of time to maintain it, but to me it's just very beneficial, so that I know where everything is, where everything's coming from, what buckets it is in, where I can track my spending, I can track my income, and be able to see everything. So works out pretty good. Alright, back to dashing. And it looks like my gas light is on. So, good thing she paid me an extra $20. Now I can afford to get gas. Alright. And their driveway is very weird. It's a curved driveway that curves out onto the street. doesn't go straight. Excuse me. I found that to be odd. But, whatever. Now I got the hiccups. And it's very hot out here. Alright. Whew. So, prior to that pause, I was talking about some finance deals, financial things, setting up a Roth IRA, putting $25 a week in at a minimum. You will never miss it, and it will pay you handsomely in the long run. The next thing, what did I talk about? I talked about that. I talked about setting up Quicken Simplify. So those are two things that I think are just bare minimums when it comes to financial planning. Man, I have no idea where I am. No earthly idea. So let me look up the GPS real quick. Where am I? Why don't you give me another alternate route? Okay, that's not gonna work. How about we go to a different one? And we want to go to this school. How about that? Start. It's okay if it's closed, so I need to turn right here. Maybe. Alright. Now I don't need the GPS. I was right there where I needed to turn, so that is pretty funny. Okay. So, she just sent me another thank you. We'll break out the Chick-fil-A response here. My pleasure! Exclamation. 3 times. Boom. She might give me another $20 tip. Alright. Back to the dash. So that brings us to today. There's some deer right out in this field. Today, dashing. I don't know what I really want to do. Is just, be true to who I am, the rambling dasher. Maybe we can find some wisdom in the things that I say. Maybe we can find some humor along the way. And then I'll throw in a little poetry there too. So you're welcome. No extra charge. So let's just get it out of the way and start talking about the top 5 of the day. So this one, I haven't thought about it that much. I thought of what I'm gonna do as far as the top 5, but I don't have a clue what my top 5 is. So I may have to work through this while I'm rambling. and just try to think about some of the items that I would put in the top 5 and then try to figure out how to rank them. Knowing that there is a whole row in the grocery store dedicated to these things, right? So, and I just don't know if some of this, it really takes me like seriously thinking about it and maybe putting it down on a piece of paper and moving it around and this, that, and another, trying to figure out where would I rank these things, where would I, because half the time I start talking about them, I forget which ones I put on there. But so today's top 5 is going to be top 5 cold cereals. For me, I know some people call it like breakfast cereal. For me, I'll eat some cereal any time of the day. I don't even have to have milk on some of them anyway. So top 5, this is going to be a tough one to even narrow it down to 5 because I really don't even have a clue where to start. So I'm going to just start rambling off some cereals that I remember liking, that I still love, that I don't get to eat. I don't let myself eat cereal very often because if I did, I would just go through it. So, in no particular order, I'm just listing off things. And some of them, I can't even think of the name of them. Like sugar something. Dang it. I don't know what they're called. Honey sugar, no. Sugar Smacks. No, I don't like Sugar Smacks. Anyway, well, I'll figure it out. They're little brown rice things that are, seems like they're called honey something. But maybe not. So, Apple Jacks, and Fruity Pebbles, and Fruit Loops. So those 3 are somewhere in this list. It could be that they get knocked down. It could be that they are in the top 5. But those 3, I mean, especially, I especially like Fruity Pebbles. Teach me to wake up your voice. No, how about we go back to DoorDash instead of trying to listen to me talk? Alright. Sorry, my phone is going to like some chat GPT or something trying to listen to me talking. So Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, love them as well. One of my favorite flavors of cereal is Apple Jacks. Now if they made Apple Jacks into the shape of Fruity Pebbles, I don't know that would not be the best thing ever. Maybe we need to work on that. Maybe we should give Kellogg's a call. Sugar Smacks. I already said Sugar Smacks. The one with the frog. I think that's what it's called. Every time I say one thing, it makes me think of another. Golden Grahams. I have always loved Golden Grahams since I was a kid. You know what I could eat? My mom used to eat these when I was a kid all the time. Was those? She used to eat that shredded wheat, but it was back in the day when it came like a big loaf of bread, and you would have to pour milk on it, and the only way I could eat it was pour a bunch of sugar directly on it, and then chop it all up. And then they started making frosted mini wheats. But that frosted mini wheats, I have not had that in a good while. That makes me want to get a box. I'm going to go to the store tonight and get a box of frosted mini wheats, just to see what. I can still taste them right now. I'm just telling you. I would eat some of that. And you know it's good for you because it's got wheat in it, right? I don't think the Frosted Mini Wheats is going to be in my top 5, but they are a solid honorable mention. You know what I like? I like it more now than I did as a kid, but straight up Raisin Bran. I don't like raisins and things, but I'll eat some Raisin Bran. I don't even have to add sugar to it anymore. When I was a kid, we just poured sugar on everything, evidently. That's all I remember. And back in the day, you used to buy bran flakes with no raisins. So it was the same thing, just it took the raisins out. And that, to me, I can't find that anymore. I would eat that stuff all the time. Let's see, what other kind of cereals would we have? Honey Bunches of Oats. Honey Bunches of Oats is very good to me. And if you're gonna eat Honey Bunches of Oats, then you've got to throw in, oh, hold on, we got Panda Express again, $12 for 4.5 miles, so we will accept that all day. So, accept, how do I want to get there? I guess I'll turn here. And, I'll click directions on it still. Honey Bunches of Oats is delicious. What else do we have? I think Sugar Smacks is the one with the frog. Those things are tasty. They got a bunch of new cereals that I don't care for, like Crave and stuff that my kids will eat. I'm not eating that. I've never liked peanut butter, peanut buttery stuff. Like they have those, I don't know, is it like Reese's Puffs or something? No, I'm not eating that. They used to have those other things that are like yellow pieces of popped something. And I don't know, what was it called? Corn Pops or something like that? I was like, I used to eat them, but I don't think that would be good today. It doesn't sound appealing at all. I like Raisin Bran, but then they also had that, what was it called? Honey Nut Crunch Raisin Bran, something like that. That stuff was good, but they throwing enough sugar in there, it's all gonna be good. Oh man, Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles. Cocoa Pebbles were good. It always gave me like, you got cereal and chocolate milk after it sat there for a little bit. And probably not even a little bit. It was pretty instant. What else? Cheerios. I was never that big. Honey Nut Cheerios. Maybe it wasn't Honey Nut Raisin Bran, Honey Nut Crunch. It was something, maybe it was Honey Nut Crunch Raisin Bran. Or was it Honey Nut Crunch Cheerios or just Honey Nut Cheerios? Whatever it is, Honey Nut Cheerios. If you're, a lot of people I don't even know if they still make old school Cheerios with no sugar on them. I don't even know if they do that, because you know they've added sugar or high fructose corn syrup to everything we eat today, and I just can't imagine regular Cheerios anybody ever buying them, because I used to get those because I don't know if they were just cheap or whatever when I was a kid. Obviously I didn't get them, but my mom got them, and we would just douse them down with sugar. And you know, the greatest thing about adding sugar to a bowl of cereal is when you ate all the cereal out, you still had all that granular sugar on the bottom, and you would just scoop the bottom of the bowl and have a spoonful of wet, milky sugar, and you would eat that stuff. It was the best thing. But, yeah, this crazy stuff. Alright, so I am going to run into this Panda Express, and I will be right back. Alright, so in there they already had it ready, so it kind of throws me off on sending people these little messages. And that sun is right here, I can't see anything. Boom. So I like this one here. It just depends on the people, but it's the one where the dude, I can't think of it, Montoya something or another from Princess Bride. Hello, I am your DoorDash driver. I have your food. Prepare to dine. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I don't know, but anyway, it's pretty funny. I'll try to stick that out there on my page, so if anybody's looking for things. And they said thank you, so there you go. Directions, 10 minutes away. Get on the freeway, make a loop, cross over, go through 15 roundabouts. No, there's only 4. It feels like it though once you get down there. It's ridiculous. I could avoid the roundabouts and go down the freeway and come back, but that is tempting. Let me look at this and see what the difference is if I stayed on it. It's only 1. I'm just gonna go that way. That's how much I hate those roundabouts. In theory, I like roundabouts. I just don't like driving through them, especially with other people that aren't so savvy when it comes to roundabouts. But yeah. So anyway, all right. So back to our top 5 list, and we're nowhere close to having a list of top 5, but we're getting a list of breakfast or anytime cereals. I did say that they had to be cold cereals. Oh, this is not. Oh yeah, I know where I'm going. What else is there? So I was saying I could do without that Crave. I can do without those Reese's Puffs. Cocoa Puffs were okay. They're not even an honorable mention for me. Frosted Flakes. I remember eating Frosted Flakes all the time. How many people remember just straight up Corn Flakes? That's the one I probably remember the most, is pouring the sugar on those things and having that bowl full of sugar milk at the end, and you could scrape the bottom of your bowl and you'll just get a spoonful of wet sugar. That was always good, because who can eat Corn Flakes without sugar? What's the point, right? It's like me eating this bowl of veggies right now. I don't remember if I said this earlier, but everybody coming off the freeway has their blinker on, like they're gonna turn where I'm pulling out, but no one ever turns because they just still have their blinker on from the freeway. So you really have to just wait until they start turning, and hopefully no one's flying up behind them. After they turn and just come straight after you. I think we've been through most of the best ones that I can remember anyways. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was always a good one. The only thing about those is I would probably get tired of them before I finished the box. You know? They always taste good at the beginning, but towards the end of a box, you're like, nah, I'm done with that. Oh, this is something my daughter absolutely loved these things when she was a kid, and I liked them as well, but she was bonkers over these, and the reality with them is she ate them. So we would get these Lucky Charms, and she would eat all the marshmallows out. I don't blame her. The marshmallows is the best part about Lucky Charms. So Lucky Charms is good. I did like some Captain Crunch. I like the Captain Crunch when it has the berries mixed in, those round balls along with the Captain Crunch. The thing about Captain Crunch is that if you weren't careful, or at the end of any time eating a bowl of Captain Crunch, the whole roof of your mouth is just raw from that stuff, because it will just tear up your hair. It'll tear up your mouth because it is hard and scratchy. And yet you don't stop eating because it's so good. And I do think that one was a peanut butter based one, but that Reese's Puffs was just a whole different weird thing going on there. But Captain Crunch with those berries in it, and then I don't know that I ever got this, even though I probably want to right now, is berries only. So Captain Crunch berries only. I'm like, yeah, I could eat that. I'd probably eat a bowl of that without even any milk. Just put it in a cup and eat it out of the cup. I've been through plenty of granola type cereals, and yeah, I'll eat those things. Oh, hold on, I'm supposed to turn here. I can't think of the name of the granola cereals. The one that I think Nature Valley made some or something like that. I'm trying to think of some other, like those. I don't remember eating this stuff or what it was flavored like, but I know it's like that Count Chocula. I don't know what the heck that is. But then there was another one called Boo Berries, and I don't know what that is either. So, I would eat them, but I don't remember them very much at all. Oh yeah, honeycombs. What happened to honeycombs? Do they still make that? Oh, I think those yellow things were called Sugar Pops. They were just like weirdly shaped pieces of thing. I really think they were a byproduct of some other food making process at some food plant, and they're like, hey, put some sugar on that and feed them to kids. Call them Sugar Pops and make a cartoon character for them. Almost all the cereals had cartoons. Oh, Rice Krispies. When I thought of the cartoons, that was another one that you would pour a bunch of sugar in there and eat Rice Krispies, but you could hear it pop. Snap, Crackle, and Pop was the 3 cartoon characters. If you were in the sports, you had to eat Wheaties. Eat your Wheaties, right? I don't remember liking Wheaties very much, ever. I can tell you one time my aunt used to eat this one cereal, and she was like, you can't eat this stuff. You can't eat this. This is too, I don't know if it was too expensive or it was just hers or whatever. But one day she left, and I poured me a big old bowl of grape nuts. and it was like eating rocks. So I took it out the house and poured it out in the yard. It was disgusting. Grape nuts. Or not a grape. Yeah, that was what it's called. Grape nuts. I'm like, no. That stuff was utterly disgusting. I've never tried it ever again. I probably was like 8 or 9, maybe 10 years old when that happened. Took the whole bowl outside and dumped it. Number one, I didn't want to get caught. But I bet those rocks are still out there in that yard. Alright. So inevitably I'm going to forget some cereals, so you guys feel free to list them in the comments, and we, I'll be sure to acknowledge them. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. I really am. I can kind of visualize some kind of Boo Berry character, but I don't remember what the heck that was. There was Count Chocula. Was some kind of cereal. Was that wasn't associated with Cocoa Pebbles, I don't think, because they had the Fruity Pebbles and had like the Flintstones characters. It seems like were associated with Fruity Pebbles, and maybe the Cocoa Pebbles or something, but I can't really remember. It seems like Boo Berry and Count Chocula, and there seemed like there was one other one, had some kind of association with some Halloween-like characters. Obviously, Count Chocula was like a chocolate Dracula. I don't know. Boo Berries sounds like a Halloween. Count Chocula sounds like a Halloween. But I don't think they were only out at Halloween. Alright, so... Okay, here we go. Alright, so I'm pulling up to this house. I will finish this conversation later. Alright, so $12 was $4 plus a Peak Pay. Peak Pay on a Friday. That's odd. But, so, and then $7 tip, so not too bad. So that means we're up to 24 plus 20, so $44 on early Saturday. But I don't know how far. I started a little late, so an hour and a half. I got $44. Maybe not an hour and a half. Not quite. All right. So all that talking about cereals got me hungry for some. Let's see. The grab bag today has cauliflower. I might just have to run to the grocery store tonight, stock up on some cereal and milk. I know this is intriguing YouTube television right here. I'm gonna have to get some gas. Alright, so I don't know what else. Let's see. Well, I'm drawing blanks on any other cereal, so maybe I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I can get a top 5 list out of those cereals that I've named so far. Oh, I've forgotten about one. And there's really 2 of them that I like of the same brand, and that is the Life cereals. So there's regular Life, and then there's Cinnamon Life, and that Cinnamon Life, to me, yummy. But I will eat them both. There's something about they got a good flavor when they got the crunch, but they kind of turn soggy pretty quick, and then they just turn into like a mush. Like you might call it like a porridge, but it still has the flavor. Anyway, very good stuff. Alright, I'm gonna sit here at the gas station, pump me some gas. I will put it on hold for a second, so I'll catch you on the other side. Alright, so evidently I missed an order for Ulta Beauty. Oh well, another day in the life. Probably shot my AR down. And those are usually pretty easy. I don't know if it had any money. It doesn't show you the money that you missed, but you just go in there and pick up some beauty supplies that they've already boxed up for you. Because I've been in there before, not of my own accord, and had to wait and walk through all the aisles, and I'm like, I don't want to ever go back into an Ulta and have to look at that stuff really myself. Look at there. There, I just got a double order from Ulta and Panda Express, and the delivery is all the way up into the big city. Is that even across the river? Good night. I don't know that I want to deliver up there. Crap. I got 16 seconds. It's $27.50. That is across the river, all the way up in there. I am not going to drive that far for $27.50. Why? I will flat out decline it. That was a long, long delivery. It was like 28 miles for, or 31 miles for $27.50. That was like an hour and a half right there, which is $27.50, not bad for an hour and a half. I'll take my chances down here though. I don't want to have to go up there at all. That was way out of my way out of the way. I can't imagine. It was 31 plus miles. I was like, good night. And I can't imagine that they don't have an Ulta closer to them somewhere up that way. Thing is, I don't want to have to get another tank of gas tonight. Alright, sorry you are getting to watch me eat little carrots, tomatoes, broccoli, cauliflower. I know this has got to be the better part of your day just watching this here. Just like this is the better part of my day making this video. There. I just left the gas station. I got 52 miles into the gallon. Must have been downhill all the way. Do the slow drive here in this little area where there's, I'm gonna say 2 restaurants. There's also an Applebee's here, but there's 2 restaurants that I get decent DoorDashes from. Occasionally from a Starbucks. It's too early for Starbucks, I think. But the slow roll is not getting me anything today. Okay. Back to my top 5 cereals. So I named off a bunch of cereals. Now I'm having to weed out things. Hope I didn't forget anything. Maybe those things that I couldn't think of are called Sugar Puffs. That sounds right. Sugar Smacks, Sugar Puffs. Sugar Smacks with the frog. Maybe I'm getting the mixed up versions of the multi-meal versions in the big old bags, because I'm not averse to buying those because they taste, to me, just as good as the Kellogg's brand. This is not easy here to rearrange these things, put them in order from 5 down, or 5 to 1. So, wow. Oh, I was gonna turn, but I forgot. Oh well, we'll go a different route. Alright, here's what we're gonna go with. This is a tough one just because there's so many decent, really good cereals. And unlike my favorite top 5 sodas, where my number 1 is hands down, I would probably put it, all 5 spots have the same drink as a Mountain Dew, but I didn't do that. Cereals are a little bit different because I have lots of favorites in that regard. So here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to name these best I can in an order. I feel like I have a top 5. So I'm going to go with semi-healthy Honey Bunches of Oats as my number 5. it's just got all the stuff in there. But the bunches of oats, along with the nuts and the honey and the corn flaky things, I just think that is a great combination together. Okay. Sorry, I just got a text message. So, number 5, Honey Bunches of Oats. Number 4, I can think of a few of these that it does this for me, but maybe none more than this one cereal is drinking the milk after the cereal is part of what makes them so good. So Apple Jacks for me does that. There's times in my life where Apple Jacks is number 1. It's probably when I'm eating it. And drinking the milk afterwards. It is so good. I don't know what those little red dots are they have that stuck to the outside of the circle, but those little tasty nuggets are very delicious. Yeah, the milk just turns into some apple flavored goodness, and I don't know, you would never think of having apple flavored milk, but whatever they put in that Apple Jacks that turns that milk to that flavor is so good. Okay, so number 5 was Honey Bunches of Oats. Number 4, Apple Jacks. Now, top 3. I almost feel like these would be interchangeable, and they are so nothing alike, right? And I'm still just debating in my head which one is going to be 1, which one's going to be number 3, because they could all be 1, 2, or 3. So, I'm going to add... Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to put Sugar Smacks in at number 3. If I was doing this tomorrow, it might be a different one. But anyway, number 3, Sugar Smacks. Sugar Smacks have that frog as the logo, the little cartoon character. I don't remember what he says or anything about him. I don't see cereal commercials anymore. I don't hardly see commercials anymore. I hear them on the radio. I obviously I see them on YouTube, but they are not catering to me anymore. Cereal commercials are not, anyway. So I might see commercials elsewhere, but definitely don't see cereal commercials anymore. But Sugar Smacks, Honey Smacks, whatever they're called, I don't know what they're called, but those little rice puffs with whatever flavoring they have on there are delicious. I can eat them dry, I can eat them with cereal. Either way, I can go through them just like it's going out of style. This next one is a huge contrast in types of cereals, but either way, I will eat them all day, every day. I'm going to add Cinnamon Life as my number 2. And that's just a hard decision to make, but Cinnamon Life, got that. If you start eating them immediately, they have a very short crunch life. But if you eat them immediately, they have that little bit of crunch to them. You get the sugar, you get the cinnamon, you get the crunch from the little wheat thing or whatever it is that makes the cinnamon life. But it all tastes good. And then they turn to sogginess. And it's like sogginess from heaven, because it still has all the flavor, you just don't get the little crunch. Uh-oh. I got an order on my phone's going, not dead, but 1.3 miles. I just drove by this place. $6.50 for 1.3 miles. That seems an appropriate dollar per mile ratio. You guys ever have this where your phone keeps buzzing even after you do the accepting? Now I gotta figure out how to get back over there without making a U-turn right in the middle of the street. Alright. Directions. We're going this way. I made a commitment. Alright. So, Honey Bunches of Oats, Apple Jacks, Sugar Smack, or Honey Smack, whatever it's called. Cinnamon Life, and then my number one, as of today, is going to be Fruity Pebbles. That's right. 55-year-old man, favorite cereal in the world is Fruity Pebbles. I don't care. The great thing about that, like, if I go back to talking about like Cinnamon Life versus Fruity Pebbles, I can't put Cinnamon Life in a cup and take it in the car and just eat it dry. But Fruity Pebbles is like eating candy, except it's crunchy candy, and it tastes just like whether you have milk or not. It tastes the same. And it tastes like goodness. Oh, that sun is bright. So, number one of our top cold cereals of the day, Fruity Pebbles. I think it's a Post cereal, which is interesting. I don't know which ones are Post, which ones are Kellogg, but I do know that's Post. But anyway, if you have issues with that top five, then I recommend that you come up with your own top five and you tell me what they are. I want to know about them. Put them in the comments down below. Alright, so I'm weaving in and out of streets here, trying to get back over to this restaurant. So this little place, it's a converted house from years ago. Oh, look at there, it says the order is ready to be picked up. I don't know what these people are doing, making a U-turn in the parking lot, which there's not much of a parking lot here. You just kind of pull off the street and they've got some things. Oh, they're backing into a spot. Alright, I will be back. Alright. It's asking me to verify the order, but I can't verify because its bag is sealed. You want me to open up a bag of hibachi food and see what's in there? I'm not the biggest fan of this verify order thing. Look for silver car backed into driveway. Okay. We're going to be looking for that. It says it's only 2 minutes. I don't know where this is. Interesting. Alright. But 2 minutes away. Doesn't sound too bad of a deal. I'll tell you one thing that I just got impressed by. I just got an acceptance to a calendar invite that I sent to my 15-year-old. I've been really trying to impress on him to use your devices that you use every day. So my guy, I said, I don't even know what meme I sent this dude. I have no idea which one I sent him. What did I send him? He said, LOL, that had me rolling. I was like, that's funny. Oh, I just sent him the one with the, I sent him one that says, hey, I'm watching the restaurant make your order, and it's Jim from The Office looking through the blinds, like he's creeping on them. And then the one that says, I'm on your way, and it's Johnny Depp running from the cannibals holding the DoorDash bag. So that had me rolling. Well, good. I wish I could see the screen light because I cannot. That sun is right there. Alright, so down here, turn to the right, turn to the left. Anyway. So, yeah. So I've been trying to impress on him to schedule things, to block time, to become a I don't know, maybe the owner of his own domain, to take ownership of things going on. Oh, look at there. It's a little house and it's a duplex. And the dude's waving at me. Alright. I'll be right back. Alright. I always like people like that. He was like, yeah, that thing had me. He was just laughing at it, so I was like, that's why I do them. Okay. Mark as delivered. $6.50, and he added, oh, look at that, added $15 tip to that. That is unexpected. Very unexpected. So I gotta go back and find his text thread. Well, that is not a record, but lately it has been very good. So $15 by that dude, in addition to the tip he already had in there. As an additional tip after the delivery. Oh, that sun is bright. I should have went out the other way. And then another $20 cash tip. So that puts me at $65.50 for right at 2 hours. So that's over $30 an hour right there. I wish that was an everyday thing, but I'm not going to turn them down. Slow roll by that same place again, which I did earlier, but I didn't get any order until I got on the other side, back on the main thoroughfare. And that's usually how DoorDash likes to do it. Like, hey, I know this dude drove by like 3 minutes ago, but let's make him turn around. Slow it down. Give me an order. I'm right here. I can pull right in. Nope. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. What's surprising is just around the corner here is that Little Caesars that I hate going to. So that place has this kid that goes to my son's school. And I used to coach him in soccer, and I was like, hey, the last time I was here and he was working there, I was like, aren't you so-and-so? And he was like, yeah. Anyway, he's nicer now than he was then, because he just says, yes sir, yes sir. And I'm like, dude. But, you know, maybe because he's working. He's got to keep the job or whatever. Which I know he's a good kid. was at the end of his soccer playing career as a, I don't know how old he was at the time, maybe 10 or 12, maybe somewhere in that range, probably 12. Some kids play soccer and play soccer and play soccer, or any sport, and then they just get tired of it. My kid's gone through that twice. I wonder, so it just feels like, because I had got an order already by now, which has been like 4 or 5 minutes still, but I just wonder sometimes if they see that a Dasher is getting, like, they didn't know that I got an extra cash tip, right? But they do know that I got this extra $15 tip, and I'm sitting at $45 in a couple of hours, right? Or, yeah, we're like, oh, he's over the quota, you know, he's got more than $20 an hour. We gotta set him for a few minutes. I wonder if anybody else thinks that. It's like, hey, we're having a really good night, and you can get more orders, boom, 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 and keep it going, or they can spread them out so that no one gets that much money. You know? But all I can do is try to keep breaking the algorithm and make the money. And then maybe I'll go home and go to bed. Skirting around on the freeway access road, about a block or two away from Restaurant Row over there with all the fast food places. And not getting anything, so I got 2 more ways to get back to them before I get past the relevancy of going backwards. I've never gotten an order once I got past the last turnaround point. Well, all my veggies are gone. That just means we're gonna have to figure out something to eat outside of those. Excuse me. Alright, let's get some more orders. Coming up on the middle exit, because I usually stay within 3 exits or so. Well, I don't know, there's more than 3 exits, but there's 2 cities and 1 exit that kind of is right in the middle that has a bunch of restaurants as well. So I try to stay down here and stay out of the big city because I don't like going there. I don't know the area as well, and I don't like all the traffic and having to deal with that, and then knowing where they can take orders into neighborhoods that I don't really want to have to go into and feel uncomfortable with. So I would just stay down here and do all the dashing that I can. And usually get everything I need out of them, so. I would like to, I know occasionally this kind of stuff happens, but rarely, where I can break 100 and then break like 150 in one night in like 6 hours. 6 hours is probably pushing it. If I work, a little bit longer than 6 hours, then to get $150, but that's a good night for me anyway. I saw this Facebook post today. There's look, I did the slow roll through this restaurant, and then I get an order for them. And that just means it's not going to be ready. But we'll take it. I think it was like 4 miles for $12. So I'm over here just going to park in the empty Starbucks parking lot. Walk over there so I don't have to squeeze through all that traffic again. Oh, so I'm gonna go into Chili's. As much as I hate going to Chili's and smell their food, which is always good food, don't knock the food, but it's just the chain part. So, but then I wish I could sit down and eat a big old meal. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna pause this. I'll run in and see you in a minute. Alright. I think I might need some chicken fajitas. Or those are steak fajitas. Whatever, they smell good. Alright, so this one we're going to send the I can't even remember the name of this show. Liam Neeson, where he's like, I don't know who you are, but I have your food, and I will find you. Taken. That's what that's from. Alright, so good times. So we're going to hit directions. 10 minutes. Freeway. Cross over. And up there. Alright. Not that far, really. And we stay within the region we want to dash in, so that's always good. Okay, so 9 more minutes. I'm talking to deaf ears here, but I always, I'm going to throw this out there. So my daughter came to me today, and she's moving to Japan, right? Doesn't quite have enough money to do the 2 years that she's going there for, right? So her intention is to be able to find a part-time job as a student at a Japanese language school. And I don't know. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how that goes. But she shoots me an email today, and then she says, "Hey, check your email out when you get a chance." And so she sent me this whole spreadsheet with these ideas of this new business that she wants to start. And I'm like, okay. So she wants to start something that is more freelance work, which I think is maybe not a bad deal. I don't know if people will pay for it or not, but maybe people pay for different things. But it's something she could definitely do or help with, and kind of come up with a plan to help people kind of declutter their digital imprint, or the things they store digitally anyway, and put everything in places where they can find it and be happy with it. But anyway, just to say that's kind of the idea behind that. But it just has me to thinking, is like, how do people make a living, or how do people make freelance jobs and get freelance jobs? I know there's some apps out there where a lot of these younger people might attend, maybe older people, I don't know who does this stuff, but they advertise themselves on some website that's for freelancers. I don't know how the website makes money off of that, but maybe they do. Maybe you would think they would. But I do know these freelancers advertise or post their names and what they do out on this website, and there may be more than one, but and say that I can do web design, or I can do whatever. I don't know what they do. I know there's different ones for, like, you can take language tutoring or other tutoring for that matter. I've seen a website that does tutoring that you pay, and just different people from around the world, that they'll create a plan for you and tutor you for a certain dollar amount. And then so there's that. But then there's also like freelance computer work, stuff like that people do. I just wonder if at some point I know that I want to kind of sell everything and hopefully live off the money that I have saved up, and that I turn it into income, that it produces passive income for me. But I don't know if I'll have enough, especially with, some of this stuff that's causing the market to go up and down right now. It's just very volatile. So it's got to come back. It's down considerable amounts, but also I know that it's going to come back as well. And I'm still through my 401k funding it through work, and every time it funds it at a lower price, I know that I'm buying it on sale. So when it does come back, I have more shares of it that will be back at the same rate as the old ones that I had before. So that means I will have even more money when it comes back. So that's a good thing. But I just wonder, what do other people do to make money when they don't have a job, so to speak? What do you do? What are you freelancing at? How do you do it? Where do you post at? What websites? Have you had any luck at it? This is the thing that I think about most of the time, is that, yeah, you post things out there, but has anybody called you? Have anybody paid you? Those are the things that I think about anyway. I do this, I've shared, like, here's a t-shirt for my foodie page. So I've had an Etsy store with t-shirts on there from my foodie page, or other t-shirts that my kids have designed, and I'm just like, I have never gotten a single order off of Etsy. Never. And my question is, do people make money off of these sites? Do they make money off of the freelance that they offer? My guess is, and I was a freelance person, but who I reached out to was all the customers from the job that I worked at, where I met them all, right? And so I got a lot of work that way after the company was bought out, that they had all bought that software, and then they all were kind of left high and dry by the software company that bought out their software that they had bought. 30, okay. Hold on just a second. Alright, I'm going to pause this. Oh, they have a walkway to the front door on the street. Alright. I am going to pause this, and I will be right back. Okay. $3.25 base, $1 peak pay, and $7.75 tip for $12. Brings us up to $57.50 plus $20 cash. So that's $77.50 in less than 3 hours. So let's just keep going, see what we can come up with. So anyway, just wondering what you guys think about that. I am always thinking that if I ever do sell my house and invest all the money to make passive income, I don't know if it's going to be enough for me to live in other countries and travel and stay places for a month at a time, and then move to somewhere else and only live with 2 travel bags and not check airplane bags and stuff like that. I know other people do it, and I know that they show at least what they say that they spend. The ones I watch, they usually at the end of the year, they always do a compilation, or not a compilation, but hey, here's what we spent all year long on all of our travel. And when I see that, and it's less than, I don't know, what was the last one was like less than $3,000 a month. And I'm just like, $3,000 a month it sounds like a lot, but considering what I pay for things now, and I pay for homeowners insurance, car insurance, and car tags, and real estate taxes, and car taxes, and I had to buy gasoline, I have to buy utilities, I have to pay the mortgage, you know, I have to I don't know, all of this stuff that you have to pay for, even if like I drive cars that are paid for, because I'm not a person that just is going to pay $500, $700, $800 more dollars a month to have a car payment, and that's basically what a new car is going to cost you nowadays. And I know people that do, like, they'll get a new car every couple of years, and I just like I can't make that one of my standard monthly payments. Partly because I know there's more that I want to do once I get to that age and my kids move out of the house and all that fun stuff, that I do want to travel, and I do want to feel that freedom to be able to pack my bag on a whim and leave. Now, when I say that, it's going to be after paying for a place to stay for a month or two and then leave, or we leave early. Maybe we pay for it and we leave early. I don't know. So, but you know, it's something that my goal anyway is to be able to do that. And then to find other little trips along the way that will help us figure out how we're going to do that full time. So just kind of do little things part time that get us there. So that's one of the things that we're going to be working on a working trip, but we're working instead of living at our house, we're going to be living in an apartment in Portugal. And then when we get off of work, we can go do things that we can't do at our home. So that's going to be a whole different kind of experience. Because I know today everybody is like, oh, these cars are loud. They're like, well, there's nothing to do here, you know. I mean, there might be stuff to do, but really, there's nothing to do here. But also, the cost of living here is a lot more expensive. Even in where we live in the United States is a lot cheaper than a lot of places. I've traveled a lot for work, and I met people that think that my house payment, what I pay today, and they would pay triple for the same house, you know. So it's just ridiculous when I hear these stories about people and what they pay in other places, and I'm like, how much money do you make to afford? Well, it's number one, they can't afford a house the size of the house that I have. So they live in really small places and pay lots of money for it. Or they commute 60 miles or more every day because they are going to live in a place outside of town and then drive into the city to work. And so, I don't know. It's definitely something. It's interesting. Oh, look at that. And I just missed it. So there with, oh crap, how am I going to get back to this place? Okay, so it's 6 miles for $17.25 plus. I think I'm just gonna make a U-turn in these people's driveway. Is what I'm gonna do. And this place is notorious for taking forever, but it's okay. It's $17.25 plus. So hopefully I do a good job. They give me more than $17.25, but and they will. Even if it's 50 cents, right? It's always more than whenever they has that plus. You always get more, but even just the $17.50 is plenty. For 6 miles, I think is what it said, 6.4 or something. Now the drive-through is all backed up. I can't go through the drive-through anyway, so I'm just gonna drive around these cars that are blocking the street. Y'all could pull down a little bit, but no, not gonna pull down. Not gonna do that. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes. It might be a while. Alright, we are back. I don't know how long that took, like 20 minutes or something. But anyway, and then I got 14-minute drive. And I think I've been to these people's house before. It's out in the middle of nowhere. The only reason I know is because for whatever reason, I remember the code that they have a gate. And he is like, finally. Yeah, no kidding. Now I can't get over to my turn lane. Okay, people, y'all got to move out of my way so I can catch this green arrow. Okay, I have no idea what I was talking about before I came in there, so maybe we'll start something else. I don't have a clue. So I ran into one of my neighbors. I was in there. Supposed to go to her house tomorrow. She's going to the lake and let her dog out for a little while. So, and then my daughter is coming over later to spend the night with the dog. So, one thing I do know of that people do, at least they say they do, right, is there's some websites out there that you can get for house setting or pet setting. Anybody ever do that? I haven't paid for the service, but I know I don't know them. I follow at least 2 people on the internet that do that and say they do it, and one of them has been doing it for years, but then they say they do it in Costa Rica, and they stay at some places that aren't that nice, and they're like taking care of farm animals and stuff, and then they stay at places that are really nice, have awesome views, and not a lot of responsibilities. And I'm like, oh, I need that, you know. So they get to stay there for free as long as they feed their dogs and cats and whatever else they have. You know, I'm sure there's more to it at some of them than the others, but hopefully you know about it before you get there and you can say, yeah, I want to do it, or no, I'm not up for that. I'm not game for milking cows, or you know, herding sheep or something. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to look into that as I go forward. The people that I watch the most on YouTube as far as traveling, they've been gone for, they up and sold their house like 3 full years ago, I think. And they started going where the first trip they went on was about 8 months, and they just realized that that's too much to be away from they have grown kids, and I think one of them has got grandkids. They're a couple that met later on in life, but then they both have their own sets of kids. But anyway, they do talk about, and they show videos about places where they go when they come back to the States for like a month or two at a time and house sit for free, and you know, so I just think that's pretty awesome to be able to do that. What I don't know is, I don't know all the ins and outs, but it could be just people they know, but who knows. I would think that they would have to rent a car, so there's that expense. But maybe some places might leave you a car with their home. Maybe, I don't know. So, but yeah, that would be interesting to be able to do that kind of stuff. Even if you just found your way across the states and you still paid for a car, and you just like, hey, I want to sell everything and go travel across the United States and stay for free house setting, and you just kind of line it up. You might have to book a hotel here and there, or maybe, I don't know, coincidentally you could line things up to where you're not out of a house for any extended amount of time, or maybe even just like, hey, I'm going to drive from one place to the other and stay. And get to see different parts of the country for no rent, no utilities, none of that. So, and it's probably, obviously there's a lot of trust going on. The same with people that rent their houses out through Airbnb or Vrbo. But there's even more trust when you're trusting someone to come in and take care of your animals. So yeah, there's that. We went on a trip to, where did we go? To Sedona over the Christmas and New Year's. And it was spectacular, but I didn't even think about it until after we got out there that we had the kids, so we only had a short window of time anyway, but there's places out there that I was like, there's places in not very far from where we stayed, in like a bunch of rich houses, what I consider to be rich, and they're even more rich out there because I'm sure the houses are sky high rich. But there's people that wanted to rent their houses out there in the same neighborhood or vicinity that we stayed, and I'm like, I'd be down for going to Arizona for a month or two. But the only problem is that we And this is what could prevent me from leaving later on, is I have a dog, and we have a couple of cats, so there's that. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but at least we're thinking about it and figuring things out and what we can and can't do, and so I just don't know. I know, well, we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, my hope is that we'll find some ways for someone to keep our animals, and that we will be able to go on these adventures and stay gone for a few months and then come home and house set and be able to either see our animals or do something like that when we're home. But I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's still quite a ways away, but it's not. It's the crazy thing is I think about it every day. And that's what I tell people is like, I dash for that reason. I have money that I put back through work for that reason. You know, and I'm looking for other ways to say, hey, how else can I make money for that reason? So I really want to get my kid through high school and make sure he has a good foundation to be able to say I'm comfortable with you doing these next steps on your own. You know, because my daughter moved away for a couple years after when she was 18 to college. Now she came back during the summertime and over holidays and things, but so I don't have any doubt that my son will be able to do that. So I hate it when I'm not paying attention and I miss my turn. So sorry about that. I don't know. I don't have anybody to apologize to except for myself. But this is not the place that I thought it was. This is a different place that I've probably been to a few times, 2 or 3 times. It's like you come down this road and you would never expect that there's these what seem to be multi-million-dollar houses out in the middle of the boonies, but they have these immaculate driveways with, and then when you get in there, it's like, what in the world happened here? Because these places are so out of I don't know, just they're out of place. It's like they're out of context. They don't fit, right? So they have this big gated drive, and then there's multiple residences inside that gated fence. And then there's at least 2, and this is the second one. I don't know. This is the one I always come to, and I don't know if there's more up the street or not, but I'm just like, what in the world? Where did this come from? Are they all related? Do they all work in the same place? There we go. The code worked. So this is I've delivered to this house, but the last house was another one. So there's 2 different houses that order DoorDash periodically, and this is my 2nd or 3rd time to this one. And I think they have it? Yeah, they have a big circle drive. Alright. I will park here and be back shortly. Okay, so this one was what it is? Oh, it says $17.25. It was a $4 DoorDash, $1 base pay or peak pay, and then a $13.25 tip for a grand total of $18.25. So I'm happy with that. I would have been happy with the $17.25 on that, even though I had to wait a while for the pizza. And it really wasn't the pizza. I don't know what this dude was doing. He could not figure out how to bag up some ranch dressing or whatever it was. So he just took forever to get that stuff together. So anyway, but let's see, where does that put us? It puts us at $75.75 plus $20 cash, so $95, and it's been 3 hours and 15 minutes or so. So not a bad gig. Not a bad gig. So anyway, all right. Well, keep on driving. I don't even know where I am until I get back to the main road here, because I really wasn't paying attention. Because this is what happens when I start talking. I miss my turns. I don't know where I am. I know how I got here, but I really thought I was going somewhere else. It was a little bit further out, but we didn't go that way. I do like it out here, though. I do like living in town. I don't like not having a backyard and having to walk my dog 3 times a day at least. I wish I had a place to let him out, and that was a little bit out of town. I do like being able to get out in my neighborhood and walk around, though. And there's some of my neighbors that I really like. So there's that. Anyway. So, talking about the house setting before, so I've thought about this as after this trip, I keep saying to myself, I think I said it after our last trip at Christmas, to say, hey, when we get back, let's sign up for this house setting thing and just go, because the reality is going to work very much like just like DoorDash or any other service where people that don't know you have to have a way to get to know you. So I'm not sure all the steps, if they do any kind of background checks and things like that. I would like to think that they did. So getting that taken care of, it's a subscription service as well. So that's how the service makes their money. And then there's a rating. So I think that the house setters can rate the homeowners, and the homeowners can rate the house setters, I think. Because just like Airbnb, all the places you go to have a different rating. Well, same thing, I think, with the homes, that you can see ratings of the houses of people leaving whatever reviews of saying, yeah, that blah blah blah, this is a great dog, I love going to this house every time I come to this area, blah, whatever, whatever they say. But I'm sure that the homeowners can see the ratings of the people that are going to be staying at their house, because otherwise it makes more sense that homeowners can see the ratings of random people coming to your home. But I think it's reciprocal, so it's nice that they do that. But obviously, if we're going to do it and be able to use it, because if I want to sell my house and then get free rent when I come back home to visit the kids and stuff, then I'm going to have good ratings. So we've been planning on like doing weekend trips, or even if it's a house within our vicinity, that we can just take our laptop and some overnight stuff and stay. a few changes of clothes and stay, but then maybe drive back to our house and take care of our animals, and then make sure that we're, you know, staying at the house or whatever, and taking care of the animals at the house sitting, so that we get good reviews, so that when we need that service, that we'll have the reviews we need to be able to get people to want us to stay at their home and to take care of their animals, and all while we do it for free. So, and that's how some of these people that do these, you know, some people that do these videos of traveling, they got money. Now they may not have just boatloads of money, but they got enough to where they can spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 a month and not bat an eye, and they're not working. Me, on the other hand, I don't have that. But I see other people. I don't watch some of the younger ones, but I see some younger people doing it, like in Southeast Asia. They can go there, and a couple lives in an apartment, goes to the gym every day, and it costs them with food and rent and a gym membership and whatever else they do on $1,000 in a whole month. And I'm like, okay, Southeast Asia, here we come. The only downside of that is, like, it's gonna, if we still did have to work to be able to make that much money, $1,000 even, it's going to be hard to communicate with the people back here. That's just like what we're trying to figure out with my daughter leaving in July, and she's going to be in Japan. So when it's 8 o'clock in the morning here, it's 10 o'clock at night there. If it's, I don't remember what the time was for, like, maybe, so like 8 o'clock in the morning for her would be 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night for us. So vice versa kind of deal. So anyway, so just trying to figure out how to do the communication without someone having to stay up in the middle of the night to have the conversation. But we'll figure it out, and I'm sure the same thing. The thing that I think about with me traveling like that, you just have to fix your schedule up so that you can have those meetings wherever you need to and whenever you need to. If you're in a really low cost of living place, but it happens to be a 12-14 hour time difference, then maybe you suck it up and stay up at nighttime to have those conference calls when the people that you work with are during the day here. So your schedule might be all messed up, but you're saving a crap load of money. And you may be sleeping some during the day, but when you're not sleeping, then you're going out sightseeing and stuff like that, because you're probably working more in the middle of the night. So it would be interesting. It would be tough to get on that schedule, and then if you decide, hey, I'm just going to Southeast Asia for a month, then I'm going to come back. Well, that's going to mess your system up for good. I did take my kids to Japan. When was that? 2018, I think. We were there for, I don't know, seems like we were there for a good 2 weeks. And seemingly it was pretty hard because of the time changes and stuff like that. I remember we landed there and I just went straight to bed and woke up like the next day. And I don't even know, it was still way daylight, you know. It seemed like we got through in the middle of the afternoon. They always say, if you get there, stay awake until it's time to go to bed, you know? Alright, so back to civilization here. And now we're just going to drive around and look for orders. Places are packed out tonight. But no DoorDashes as I go by. I probably should have went back the other way where I got those pizzas from, but I don't get that many orders from that place. Maybe once or twice a week. I'd probably like to do some dashing for a couple more hours, but I know I'm gonna have to find some food. And I really don't want to stop dashing to do it, but I might just have to. Or at least pause it for a few minutes while I grab something through a drive-through. I don't know what I want though. I might just have to run to Taco Bell after talking about our top 5 fast food restaurants. I can't, well, I found this one thing that I eat in the car from Taco Bell. I can't eat it while I'm driving. Like if I get a chicken sandwich from just the regular chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A that has cheese and three pickles on it, I can eat that in the car, right, while I'm driving. The trick, well, I used to have this Mini Cooper and drive around with the Mini Cooper, and it was a stick shift, and then I would get an ice cream cone at Chick-fil-A and have to eat an ice cream cone while I'm driving the Mini Cooper with a stick shift with the clutch and the steering wheel and do all that stuff at the same time. That was a chore. That was a balancing act. That was probably on the cusp of being dangerous. But anyway, nothing ever happened. I was just driving, juggling an ice cream cone. I don't know what I want to eat. I haven't been to Taco Bell in a good long while, so I may just run up there, see if I get any orders here in the next few minutes. Alright. Well, I am going to pull over, break out the Taco Bell app, order me some food, and get me something to eat. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and then I will start another one, and then we will break into a segment of dashing in the dark. So it'll be a separate video from this one. So I'm going to bid everyone adieu that might be watching this one. And that way I'll have some things to post to a couple different things over the weekend and go from there. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Hope you're having a great day. I will catch you later. Thanks.